I was broken until I found dropshipping, and it was hard. Like before I did dropshipping, I felt like I didn't have a purpose, couldn't find my purpose, and it was really hard trying to find that one thing that I wanted to do. It was hard for me to like really study and like work, go in university and get a degree. Like I tried, and I just couldn't sit in class, and I couldn't, write really long essays, and it was just really difficult for me to just concentrate, and partly probably because it wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I kind of forced myself into it. And, I started a nightclub when I think I was 20 years old at the time. And, at the time I had the opportunity and I did it. And, looking back on it, even though, I learned a lot, it probably wasn't the best for me in terms of, health wise. Like, I think drinking is probably one of the worst things you can do to yourself. And even like taking drugs as well for fun, probably one of the worst things you can do to yourself. And, I've been completely sober for over a year now. And like before then, when I was in the nightclub scene and I owned my nightclub and, did some events here and there, spent a lot of time drinking, because that was literally the job. That was the gig, was to drink. And it was really hard. And I don't know, like for me, I wasn't in the right mental state as well, being young and being really hungry to do something and, having an opportunity, I just grabbed at anything, right? And looking back on it, and although I met some, really cool people and, really great networks, right, that I wouldn't have known if I didn't do it. And it was great learning, but it still didn't really feel right. There was still something missing. It was, it didn't make me feel like what I wanted to do, right? Because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, always wanted to do something in business, and that's why I did take up any opportunity that I had. But then when I tried it, it wasn't for me. And then I tried working, a full-time job for maybe 3 years now. I'm probably the fourth year now working full-time still. But I finally found something where I think it's actually given me like a bit of a purpose in what I want to do in life. And it's given me a direction that I actually like to head towards. Even though it's really hard and it is really difficult and, it takes a lot to achieve what I want to achieve. But that's okay because it feels right? I feel like I'm, choosing dropshipping and choosing to do it and stick to it has made me become a better person in so many ways. Whereas when I was, owning a nightclub and doing all of that, it didn't lead me to doing good habits. Instead, it led me to doing really bad habits in life. And it led me to doing a lot of, unhealthy things for myself, like mentally and physically. So yeah, like I think before dropshipping, I was probably seriously broken. And looking back, I feel like I also didn't have standards for myself. Nowadays, I think I have a huge standard for myself in terms of the people I want to be surrounded by and also, the person I want to become. And before then, I would say I didn't really. I just thought that everyone was good, and just, try and make friends. That was like my whole goal back then, or, it was just, everything seemed easy. But, nowadays, when I look back at how I am now, I've realized that, it's actually probably better to keep your circle small, but your network big, right? And so, yeah, like before dropshipping, I had none of this kind of thinking, and I didn't have, I just felt like so lost. And I always, one of the biggest things for me right now is like being able to sleep early and wake up super early to do my work, and knowing for myself that I'm the most productive actually in the mornings, whereas before I wasn't. And before I felt like I always needed to sleep in, I always didn't have enough sleep, and I always was super tired, and I felt like I was a night owl. But truth be told, it just took a little bit of discipline, and now I am a morning person. And so, people saying, I think that they're, they're night owl or whatever they are, like, truth be told, that can always be changed, right? Nothing is ever set in stone. And that is something that I've realized in the last couple of years is that you can literally do and be anything that you want to be, as long as you put your mind to it, right? As long as you understand that, it's all about your own growth and, believing in yourself and having that drive, and it'll just put you onto being more disciplined, right? Like for me in the beginning, when I first started, I was not disciplined at all. It was hard for me to like work on dropshipping for like 8+ hours a day. Like that wasn't something that I thought I could do, but I still tried. I gave it a go, knowing that, I told myself this is the 1 year I'm going to give it a go. And if I actually tried for a whole year and it failed, then I'll stop and do something else, because then I can at least tell myself, yeah, I actually gave it a go and it didn't work out. And now I am like, almost a year and a half, and we're still doing dropshipping. And I strongly believe like dropshipping can work. It just takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort, and also takes a lot of luck. But, if you don't miss a day, then you won't miss a lucky day. So yeah, I was definitely broken before dropshipping, and it doesn't have to be for you dropshipping. It doesn't have to be, starting a business. You just got to find that one thing that you can work towards every single day and not feel like it's a job. And yeah, it's weird to describe, but I actually enjoy talking about business, and I enjoy helping other people with their businesses. And when I talk to my friends about business and stuff, it gets me going. It gets me like hyped. It gets me pumped. Like I'm ready to go. And I feel like I could talk about business endlessly forever with one person. And it's really weird to say, right? Because most people will probably think, business is just work. Why would you want to talk about work all day? But then it's really weird. But for me, it's become such a thing where I love talking about it. It gets me pumped up trying to think about, new ideas and stuff like that to do for the future, because I think I know it's a possibility now. Whereas before, I felt like it was such a far reach because I had no idea and I never did it. It felt really difficult. But now I feel like anything is reachable, which is really weird to think about. A year and a half ago, everything felt like it was so far away. But yeah, dropshipping definitely gave me a purpose in the direction that I want to head in life. It's very difficult and it's not easy at all. It's not easy to make $1 million, even 100K. And, some people do make it out of luck, but then there's others who just need to put in the time and the effort into it, and it's harder, but you can get there. But yeah, I want to leave you guys with that for this video. Please subscribe with this channel. Every day, seeing you guys subscribe keeps me going with these daily videos. It's been really rough, at least the last few weeks. And yeah, I just really appreciate knowing that making these daily videos, there's at least one person out there who actually, is kind of learning something and understanding the life of, what it's like to do dropshipping. And it's not easy. It's really not, but you can get there. It just takes time. But yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.